Hello, it's Friday, end of the week, and welcome to Sid Says, the second part of the weekly show where we'll discuss transfers, players, rumours, and gossip. There's a lot of gossip, a lot of rumours this week, unfortunately, but I've got 5 players. Not necessarily going to be the players that we're going for, but it's just something out there. And my main man here, Sam, is going to go through all the players and tell me what he thinks of the players. How are you, Sam?
Sid, I'm very good, thank you. Friday afternoon stroke evening coming up and looking forward to the game at the weekend.
Massive game this weekend. And we hear Harry Kane's back in training.
Yeah.
So
we've not seen any pictures though, you know what I mean? He's back in training, not seen any pictures like how we saw of all the guys yesterday when they're having their hijinks and playing all these games and Harry Kane comes back. Well, there's no more Spurs official photos. Well, Nuno's confirmed he's there, he's available, so let's see if he starts Sunday.
And the other thing I was going to say before we go into our 5 players that we're linked with, Milenkovic, Vestergaard. Looks like Milenkovic is on his way to West Ham for about 14 odd million. And I also believe that Vestergaard is on his way to Leicester City.
Okay. Well, Leicester need a centre back. Fofana's obviously got that horrific leg break, so they're in a bit of a need to get a centre back pretty much at all costs, I would imagine. I know we were linked with Vestergaard, but to be honest, I think there's better out there. Certainly ones that I think we could potentially get, and we've already got Romero already, so that's a good start.
Lovely. So let's get on with the 5 players that I've got. So I'm going to start off with the main. Well, I'm not actually. Yeah, let's start off with the main person. We need a replacement for Christian Eriksen. This guy was touted before to come to Spurs. Whether he's a Spurs player or not, I think his free kicks. I don't think there's anyone better in the Prem at the moment, and it is Mr. James Ward-Prowse, 25 years old, right-footed centre mid from Southampton, 5 foot 8 inches tall. And a valuation of £27 million. Sam, what do you think?
Just looking at the stats there, I think it was like 44 games. Was it 9 goals, 7 assists, so 16 direct goal involvements in terms of assists and goals. Is he a player that's going to come and create like how Eriksen created? I don't think so. Is he worth buying at 25, at 27 mil? Again, I'm not quite sure. Would he offer something to Spurs? Yeah, I think he would as a squad player. Is he someone that's going to take over a first team spot? Not in my opinion. Not to replace Eriksen. I think we need somebody of a higher caliber, certainly a more of a number 10. I think James is he's got a good engine, and like I said, he's got a good delivery from set pieces, but I think we can do something better and more effective in the transfer window for a midfielder, or certainly for an Eriksen replacement.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, what we've seen of him last season and the seasons before, like you said, he's a box-to-box player. Energy-wise, he's second to none. He always gives 100%. Free kicks, I don't know if you agree with me or not, but since we've lost Eriksen, I don't think we've had how many Son's tried free kicks, Eriksen's tried them, Lo Celso's tried them, Lamella's tried them, Kane's tried them. We haven't got a set-piece taker who can actually get the ball over the wall, let alone score. So in that sense, I think Ward-Prowse would be perfect because his free kicks are on point.
Oh, 100%. We've even got so desperate in the free kick stakes that, what's his name? Eric Dyer took one the other day, just clipped the top of the crossbar. Now, if he's taking bloody free kicks, we've got a big gap to fill for free kick takers. So, that would be something that he could probably bring. Obviously, from a dead ball situation, from a penalty, that's going to be Harry Kane. But free kicks wise, would you spend £27 million just to get a specialist free kick taker? I don't think we would. But would he be someone that you could bring on to certainly take them corners and give us that added dimension? Because we don't score a lot from set pieces, I'll be honest with you, and I think we could do better. But I just think that for the money, he would fill a quota in terms of the homegrown, but I just think there's better out there. There's better.
Yeah. Just like to mention, thank you to everyone who's joining in. Sean Hurl, Lukman Yunus, and Scott M. Please like, subscribe, share, and leave your comments underneath. And as always, we will look at them and we will get back with all the players that we're discussing. And if you've got any that you want potentially discussing, we will. And on that one, Scott M says, JWP, his set pieces are excellent. Outside of that, he is poor. So he's sort of agreeing with what you're saying in terms of we'll take him for the free kicks. But so you know what we could do? American football, where they just bring them on for
the specialists. Special teams. That's what they call special teams. You know what? He's made the England squad. I think he's actually made a few England appearances as James Ward-Prowse, if I'm not mistaken. And so there's obviously something in there from an energy perspective in terms of his work rate, his ability. And someone like Gareth Southgate will probably have someone like him in the squad if you get into situations where you need a specialist dead ball taker. Now, I just think Son looks like he's been doing some practice during the old pre-season because his corners look a lot better. Now, whether or not he can develop into a free kick taker, who knows? But we're not going to score that many from free kicks, let's be honest with you. So, let's find somebody else, mate. Let's move on from it. Yeah,
and we're not even going to give that many free kicks away now. Lamella's gone. So, So, your opinion, not worth the 27 million that they're looking at? No. And to be fair, now that Vestergaard's gone, what do you call it? Hussenhausen said yesterday, didn't he, that Prowse is not going. He's my captain. He's not going anywhere. So very slim chance that we're going to actually get him. So, right, let's move on to another player that we've been linked with previously, Ismaila Sarr. Watford, right foot, right wing, 6 foot, 23 years old, valuation 20 million.
Are those last year's stats?
That's last year's stats, 2021 in championships. 40 goals, 40 appearances, 13 goals, 10 assists, 6 yellow cards.
How old is he?
He is 23 years old.
I didn't see much of him last season, I'll be honest with you, in terms I've heard about him. We do need a right-sided player. I don't think we're desperate. A lot of people saying that we're desperate for a right-sided player. I don't think we are. I think we can possibly, move certain players in there, change the system, adapt that to maybe compensate for not having an out-and-out right-sided player. Although Lucas could probably play from that side, and Bergwijn as well, and Hill as well. So we've got a number of options. Is he going to come into this team? And again, is he going to take over a first-team spot? No. Does he have numbers to back it up in the Premiership? Not really. He's a championship player. You'd have to take a risk on. 23 years of age. We've done this. We've had, we've had a few of them type of players. Who comes to mind? There was a guy who comes to mind. He was a young one. Begins with N. Nkudu. That's the one.
Nkudu. Yeah.
That looks like an Nkudu type signing for me. We've had enough of them, Sid. Let's move on. Come on.
Yeah, but do you know what? To be honest, Nkudu, right, came in from France. Sarr, he done it in the Prem for Watford that one season. Then he's done it in the Championship. Remember when just before they got relegated, Liverpool, even Man United and Spurs were all over him. He decided to stay. Then he's gone into the Championship. He's continued his form in the Championship. Again, Liverpool are linked with him again. And I think there's another 1 or 2 in the Prem. Hence why the transfer rumour, what goes around comes around. And he's been now put back in the limelight for Spurs. I totally agree with you. We've got enough on the right side. But at the moment, for me, Bergwijn's not doing all that, right? How long are we going to give him? This guy has done it. So I'm 50-50.
Okay, so I understand what you're saying, 50-50. We've got, let's say, Sessegnon gets back into things from a squad perspective. Hill obviously has got to get up to speed. Bergwijn, you've got Lucas. You could play Son off the right or left. If you really started to get a little bit, we're going to have to fit some round holes in square pegs or whatever the phrases they say, you could maybe even play Dele off the right because Dele's playing off the left in terms of a midfield three at the moment. So there's options. So for me, in terms of bringing someone like him in, you're possibly not allowing one of the others to maybe flourish. And I think Hill's going to be a massive player for us, if I'm honest with you. His talent levels look like they are. But you're also taking a risk. Are we in a position where we're going to take another risk on a player who I think could, again, become another Nkudu? Let somebody else let somebody else get him first, see how he does.
Yeah.
You know, let them take that risk, and then, you know, maybe in the future if we see, because like people like Zaha, you know, we could have probably got him a few years ago, but I'm glad we didn't, because I'm not quite sold on him. 23 years of age.
Yeah.
No. I think we've got enough, mate.
Scott M doesn't agree with you, mate. He's saying, now you're talking, Sid. Feels a massive need and looks talented. I would like Saw. So here we go. Scott.
All right. He played in the Championship last season. He got, 13 goals, 10 assists. That's decent numbers in 40 appearances. Don't get me wrong, for a right-sided player.
Absolutely.
But the Championship is the Championship for a reason. You know, so this is the next level up. You know, so you've really got to be showing some real stronger numbers in terms of, in my opinion, I think you've got to show stronger numbers than that if you're going to come into our first team. If you're talking about him as a squad player and someone you could potentially have and then maybe sell on in the future, that could be a good asset. But I don't want to see that, because we take that risk all the time and it's not really worked out many of the time. Bergwijn, we're still persisting with him. We've got to persist with him.
Yeah. Well, we'll leave that one out there for the jury. If people have got their comments, please leave it below. Tell us what you think of Saw. Is Sam right? Is Sam wrong? Should we buy him? Is he a good replacement to have? Leave it underneath and we'll get back to you. Next one I'm moving on to is another midfielder, Dennis Zakaria, Borussia Gladbach, defensive midfielder, right-footed, 6'2", 24 years old. What do you think, Sam?
I've not seen much of him. I'm going to try and get a bit more into my German football this season, because I like the look of some of these players, and you know, Dortmund obviously with that team, they're the ones to watch as well. Is it again? We're trying to fill positions that I think we're adequately covered for at this moment in time, unless we're going to get rid of someone like Winks or Sissoko. You know, I don't believe we should be bringing in another holding midfielder or even a midfielder in that sense from that position. I think we need more of an attacking midfielder, if I'm honest with you. So we've got Skip, we've got Højbjerg can fill that void. You can play Lo Celso maybe as a 6 or an 8. But that number 10 position, that further forward attacking position, that's what we need to fill. I think Højbjerg, unless he's injured or unless he's suspended, he's going to play pretty much every single game for us. And I would like to think if we play a 4-2-3-1 system, that it will be Skip alongside him. Now, if we go to a 4-3-3, and we're playing one as just behind the two, maybe more attacking players, I just don't think it's worth the outlay.
No.
Oh, I'm quite negative on this one today. No, I've not even said.
You are very negative, let's have a look. His stats. I mean, okay, 27 million quid, which is not reasonable for a 24-year-old.
Reasonable.
I mean, that could even go down because his contract finishes in June 2022. So he's only got a season left. Only 1 goal and 1 assist last season in 32 appearances. Now, the reason I bought this Zakaria up is because in the last couple of days, there's a lot of talk. He's just surfaced and Spurs are one of the teams, and there's a couple of others have just come in for him. So there seems to be a lot of talk. And all with Spurs, we're linked to anyone.
Yeah.
I think even yesterday there was a lot of interest in Zakaria. So, and again, it's one a lot of people have said. So, you know, I totally agree with you. We've already got Højbjerg, we've got Winks, we've got Skip. If he comes in, he's not going to be a starter straight away. No way. He's
not going to be a starter. Now, if he's going to replace Sissoko or Winks as a squad player, I'll go with that because of his age and because of, you know, it looks like he's a player that's going to be able to adapt to that sort of rigor of the Premiership. But if you're telling me, is he going to replace either Højbjerg or Skip as a first-team player? I don't think he is. So, therefore, unless we get rid of Winks and Sissoko, it's another number. It's another player that's an overseas player that we're going to have to then cater for in our squad.
Yeah.
We ain't got the space.
No, I mean, it's like David saying here, we need another centre-back, a right-back, and a striker for me. Then we can look at other positions. We are looking at centre-backs. We are looking at right-backs. We are looking at strikers. Obviously, 60 million bid for Vlahovic, which they want more. Martinez is not going to happen by the looks of it because now he's turned around and said he doesn't want to play. Centre-backs, we're looking. Tomiyasu, I have no idea. Honestly, I haven't got a clue what's going on with that. Now everything's done and dusted. The price is done. Apparently now it's payment. It's he wants to give X amount every month or every year. So I haven't got a clue. So we are looking, and I believe Paratici has turned around and said he does want at least another 2 to 3 signings before the end of the season. So let's see what happens on that one, unfortunately. Right, next one. Another midfielder, I think. Hal Palhinha, 19 million, 26-year-old, Sporting Lisbon. Sam, you're going to hate me again. Another defensive midfielder, right foot, 6 foot 2 inches at 19 million. Again, you know what? That picture looks like Lo Celso there, doesn't it?
Looks like Lo Celso and Lamela combined. That does to me.
He's a love
It's a combination of both of them.
Isn't he? Yeah.
Jeez, that's strange.
It's a weird one. You know, yesterday when I was trying to get a picture, I put it up and I'm like, that's Lo Celso. No way. Yeah, but anyway, weird. 38 appearances, weird. 2 assists, 9 yellow cards, 19 million. I know what you're going to say, but
again, we're not looking for that position at this moment in time, but I can see the links because of the obviously the Portuguese links with Nuno. So that makes sense. Unless Nuno knows something about this player that we don't know, that's going to really excel him to go past all these others and make the first team. Again, is he going to fill a position unless we get rid of Winks or Sissoko? That's the only reason I would say bring someone like that in. I've seen him play a couple of times. I like the look of him, but again, Horbier's better, and I want Skip to get his run in the team to make sure he's going to be a first team regular. He's already been touted as a future Spurs captain by Jose, and if Jose talks up a player like that, he talks up about Scott, he's talked up about Skip and Sessegnon in the past. I'm willing to trust that sort of aspect of Jose, although his management skills is not the best. But that's another story.
Jose? You mean Nuno?
Yeah. Jose who? But yeah, you know what I mean? So there's kind of them we can probably pick up a lot of midfield talent. Do you know what I'm saying? But I think the place where we're at now, have we got adequate cover and good players in that position? Yes. Do we need to strengthen elsewhere? Of course we do.
Of course.
Those positions that have been mentioned, if we're looking at, if he could now come in and do like a Bruno Fernandes, 100% go for it, but he's not. So
he's not. No. But I'll just throw it out here. What I read yesterday is Nuno is really pushing for this one, apparently. He's really pushing, and he's told Paratici to seriously look into this one. He's a player of very high interest to Nuno, and he wants him. So he obviously has seen something. Apart from the Portugal connection, I think he must have seen something, because this is the first one that I've actually seen where Nuno is now actually pushing big time. So
yeah, so if Nuno, again, with when he was at Wolves, and obviously the players that he brought in from the Portuguese side of things from Wolves, you can see that he obviously got a good eye for players in that sense. So I would be inclined to believe what he says, that this player has got good potential. But again, to spend the money on that sort of player at 26 years of age, he's not going to get in the first team straight away, unless, of course, he's that good. We're still going to have to wait for him to adapt. It's another year on top. You get into like a 27, 28. Do you know what I mean? I want to play. If he's going to come in, bring someone a bit younger in, who, you know, like a 22-year-old, a 23-year-old. Maybe by the time we start getting them, they're like getting into their prime. Just like, you know, someone like Hill, who's 20 years of age, you can see what they're going to do with him, hopefully. Yeah,
that's it. Scott's again on it. Zapatista is a good player, and we need another centre midfield to rotate with Skip, PEH. I prefer a player better on the ball, but Zakaria is better than Wink Soko.
Oh, 100%. Wink
Soko.
Wink Soko.
Love it. Right, so that's another one. Okay, final one. It is Marcelo Brozovic, 28-year-old Inter Milan, right and left-footed midfielder, 5'9". I like this guy. I think he's a quality player at £36 million. Can he come into the midfield, Sam?
Well, 36 million is the pinch point for me. Are we going to pay that sort of money for him? Well, we all know Daniel Levy. He's spent some money already on certain players. That's going to really push the boat out. If, and again, we're talking about the same sort of things here, Sid. You know, we want to see a forward come through the door. This guy's a good player. Could probably play off that left side of a 4-3-3 pretty well. And again, the same sort of thing. Get rid of what was it? We said we had Wing Soko. Wing Soko. Or Stinks or something like that, whatever you want to call it, a combination of them two players, and bring someone like that in. But again, we got bigger needs elsewhere. I'm inclined to think that the price tag, more so than anything, is probably going to be the stumbling block on this one. 28-year-old.
Yeah, 28-year-old. 42 appearances last season, 2 goals, 7 assists, 11 yellows. And I think, did he play in the Euros as well for Italy? Oh, no, sorry, for Italy. No, they weren't in, Serbian, is he? So no.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Croatian. He did play for Croatia, didn't he? Yeah.
So this guy then has got, I think Inter Milan, obviously with their financial issues, potentially could, buckle a little bit, but they've already said they're not selling Lautaro to us. So, you know what I mean? We've probably, having them got them 150 million or whatever it is for, what's his name? Forgot. My brain's going now. Lukaku.
97 million.
Lukaku. 97. See, there you go. So their coffers are already a little bit more fatter now, so they might not need to sell players at cheap options as they may have done previously. So again, I don't think we should be spending 36 million on a player that we don't necessarily need.
No. Do you know what? I personally think Inter Milan are doing loads of smoke screen and skullduggery because they don't want to sell Martinez, they don't want to sell Brozovic, Skriniar, all these players that have been linked, and they're saying they've got no money. I personally think now they've got Lukaku, they're not going to get rid of these players, and we're not going to get Martinez and whoever else is involved. And I don't think they're going to sell players, because if they sell all these players, they're going to be back to square one, aren't they?
They're done. But Skriniar, now we're talking. If he's going to be involved, I know we've talked about him before.
We've talked about him before.
But if Skriniar was a real viable option, we should go all out to get him. Do you know what I'm saying? That should be a player we should get.
This is the thing. As soon as Inter Milan had issues, right, and we knew they've got problems, we should have gone in. And I think somebody said this on Monday as well, on Sid Says. So we should have gone in straight away for Skriniar and just said to them, right, how much do you want? 50 million. Yeah. Right, here's 45, take it now. Let's do it. Deal. Go. Yeah. But I don't know. Again, I'm hoping it's not another player that we're going to miss out on, to be honest.
We need to get that centre back stroke right back. Now, Tomiyasu I know we're kind of drifting a little bit on different players, but Tomiyasu kind of fills that hole for a right-sided centre back, but also a right-sided player in terms of a fullback, but can also play. Very versatile is basically what I'm saying. Yeah. Now, that might be to his detriment because you don't always get to fill a place. That's what Dyer had to experience. You went from kind of right back, central midfielder. Now he's a centre back. So you can kind of drift around if you don't hold down a place. But all the talk is that Tomiyasu is a player that I think will be someone that will fit into our defensive lineup, which we need. But unless we can get Skriniar out of the team, Inter.
See, so another player that I covered the other day has just signed for Inter. So they've just bought Dumfries.
Good player.
So he's gone right back. So that's another right back we've missed out on. So you know what? Just hope we don't end up sticking with Doherty and Aurier.
Tanganga, I think, is going to be starting, mate. I think Tanganga's going to get a start ahead of them two. I personally think.
It's going to have to, isn't it? Because he's been linked with Fenerbahce. I saw someone the other day that he's signed, sealed and delivered, but I don't think he is. And is he fit for Sunday? Do we know?
Yeah, Nuno confirmed that he's available. He's available for selection. He said he'd come off against Arsenal, slight tight adductor muscle, but has trained with the squad and is available for Sunday.
Wicked. So that's my 5 players for today. Unfortunately, I didn't convince Sam with majority of them. In fact, probably all of them. But as
that's how it goes sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just rumours, gossip, players that of interest. It's not necessarily we're going to get them. But there's a few players that I've covered that have gone elsewhere. So obviously people are listening elsewhere to me, and they've decided, like Sid Says, this player, they're going to go and get him.
They've definitely subscribed to Sid Says. I know that for a fact.
Absolutely. So, as always, people, please like, subscribe.
Look at this.
Comment, leave your comments. We will get back to them. And as always, Paxton Road TV, Sid Says, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. So please do leave your comments. Sam,
with them graphics, you've got to subscribe. Come on, people. Absolutely. With that graphic alone, subscribe, like, share, comment. I'm done because I'm jealous now. I want some.
You know what? I'm doing something every day. But it's you know what, we're getting more people. People are interested. They're leaving comments. It's not necessarily players that they all like, but I'm getting guests coming on more and more. A couple of weeks ago, maybe another 2 or 4 more Sid Says. Let's make them big ones. Let's get all the viewers in. Let's get people tweeting them, sharing it, liking it. And Sam, what's next on the agenda? Where can everyone see us over the weekend?
Okay, so weekend coming up, we are starting again Premiership season, kicking off on Sunday for us. 4:30 kickoff versus Manchester City. So on Paxton Road, you can catch us tomorrow, 12 p.m. and we're going to be doing the preview show. Go through everything about Man City. Look forward to the game. See a few clips on the old Nuno interview, and then obviously reaction show on Sunday, which I think is at 6:35, and we may have a special Sid appearance from the actual stadium as we go live. Yeah, for the reaction. So, yeah, lots to look forward to. And then we've got player rating show with Jody coming up on Monday as well as Sid Says next week. So lots and lots.
People, stay tuned to all that's happening on Paxton Road TV and FTB Sports. We're around. We're not going anywhere soon. So, like we said before, subscribe and like and come and join us, because I tell you what, Paxton Road is growing bigger and bigger, and people are enjoying it, and we're out there. So until the next time, Sid Says, watch this space.
Yeah, I like that. Are we done?